Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just welcome to the party. Welcome to Winternomics. Welcome. 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 Wel Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just
Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just.
Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just. 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 1. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.
What it do, peeps? Transition's a little off. I was going for the fade from the end right to the show. Missed it by a little bit. How's everybody doing out there? We are back. Colorful as ever, motherfuckers. Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. How you guys doing? Post-concept call. Those that attended, I think we only had like 50 or 60 of you. Out of 190 acolytes, you guys, 80 of you voted for a Tuesday and like 50 of you showed up. Do y'all understand the democratic process? Like, really? Do we understand the democratic process? Not 100%, but I'm good. We don't need to record that. I'm here. It's all good. Colorful, right? I thought this was a good look. Nice contrast to what you thought. Never let them know your next move. You're thinking you're going to see some kind of weird filter for that. No, you're not, motherfuckers. Had no idea. Just like that. Real killers move in silence, bitches. Hit you all kinds of colorful shit. So how's everybody doing? You guys slept on the concept call. They help you guys make a little more sense of like planning, the mechanics you need to stay on top of so that you don't get caught up in the FOMO of one particularly, really hyped shitcoin. Why am I so high up in the fucking air? Oh, this is not my chair. That's right. All right, there we go. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, I'm way up in the air. People who voted Tuesday counter-traded themselves. Yeah, something. Man, did you guys just vote to vote? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Something is not right here. What is that? Okay, not sure what's going on there. So, motion blur, keep them guessing. Oh, that was weird. Motion blur, keep them guessing, right? Sorry, 7309 more data. Oh, gotcha. The fuck has been, welcome to Acolytes. Interesting. Well, if you're going to join Acolytes, make sure to just join that and not show up for any of the stuff that we do in the Discord. It kind of defeats the purpose. I ask a lot of people when you come in who are all freaking out about what they're going to miss out on. I'd like to go through helpful links and study some of the basic materials that we've left out for years and years and years and put something into practice so you can see some proof of concept. Never rush to join some trading group that is going to fix your, fix all your issues. That's the same FOMO people rush into, like, Pepe, and they're going to retire off of it. Just signing up to a gym doesn't make you fit. We'd like you to put in some rest before you sign up to our gym so that if you do show up in Acolytes, you get the best effect out of it, and it's the best effect for our station. On mass voted Thursday, and then he passed out on Tuesday when you were around for it anyway. I don't want to hear that shit. Oh, it's Silky Johnson. Boy, you a smooth motherfucker. Well, all right, now that it's Silky, I feel a lot better. That nigga, hey, Silky and Robbie are about to fucking join me on a fucking radio show. These two motherfuckers have some wasted talent in their voices, no doubt about it. So we're gonna set that off soon. I voted Thursday also, but was a great call. Cool. Robbie showed up for it. Yeah, man, try to keep it simple. Yesterday was a shorter than usual concept call, but, some really basic things you need to keep in front of you to kind of operate mechanically across a long span of time and not be more sucked up into like one emotional fucking pump, from one shitcoin or whatever asset it is that gets hyped by enough people to give you the, the herd mentality and the ability to flock towards it like the rest of the sheep. Your whole goal in being mechanical and having excessive amounts of information I show you is to erase the ability for emotions to invade your thought process. Like I told you, when you're in an ignorant position, you replace ignorance with emotions. And an example we use in Nebula for that is, stick a 5-year-old child in a closet and don't tell him what's going on. Lock the door, turn off the lights, and he won't know what's in it. He bumps into a fur coat, thinks it's a dog, whatever. He'll freak out. It's the boogeyman. Take him out of that closet and give him some information about what's all in it, and then put him back in that closet. And he's going to know what everything he steps on and bumps into is. It's going to be hard to replace it with like a fear and, the emotions. When you have enough information and prices, when we look at the fractal wave structure of price and look at the mechanics of how we enter rotations, it is to have so much information that it leaves nothing for your emotions to take its place and give you wild speculation. That's what will get you killed. So you never want to lose track of the mechanics no matter what it is. Pepe wasn't more amazing than any other pump, when you look at what guys do in the room, you see people doing 40 and 50 and 100 X's, by structuring risk. If you think about it, right, what are you guys looking for in a Pepe? You're looking for like 10 X's and 20 X's and 100 X's, right? And you see in our room that we can actually use the fractal structure of price and wave logic to designate a specific risk in a particular resolution of time, and if it unfolds into the greater resolutions of time, we can create the R&R structure of a shitcoin in any asset class in the world. That's the whole point of it. So for you guys who are veterans who started chasing Pepe, did you forget what you're capable of doing and everything else? So zoom out a little bit and take it easy, and don't let the crowd ever invade your thought process, or you'll lose everything that you learned for as many years as you learned it and turn right back into a fucking pumpkin at midnight. So anyways, memos and stuff. So how's everybody doing? How many got here? 95 post concept call doldrums, huh? Shout to through some bits. Peace outside. Janko lifted. Good to see you, sir. What up? Albert, appreciate you. And Silky. No, I'm kidding. What up, Perk? So I found something interesting stuff on here that I wanted to show you guys, and the sentiment things. The blur comment, motion blur, was actually alluding to what Blur came out and said yesterday. If you guys saw that, they were talking about the liquidity of the lending markets, which I thought was pretty important note that probably wouldn't mean much to most people, but it does to myself as a lender to see them say this. And the panic about what's going on in the loan pools and stuff like that, it was pretty interesting. Where did I put it? Uno momento. This is an interesting little thread they put out in Blur, for them to go ahead and tell you, read this whole thing, right? This is really about them dealing with the panic being caused by influencers not knowing what they're fucking talking about as they freak out and fucking go screaming at everybody, right? Everybody who doesn't know what's going on is really rushing back to their crowd to tell hundreds of thousands of people, look, panic. These people are actually just fucking people up. They're all just clowns doing the same shit, fucking everybody up. And Blur is like, dude, read everything. This idiot's panicking, but no, it's okay. There is liquidity to the loan markets. There is someone to refinance your loan, if you're at a decent LTV and APR. And this is telling you something. There are, when you know something about foreclosures and real estate, your creditor is the smartest guy in the room, right? He dictates where risk should really be, and your best lenders are really who set the fucking, ranges and auctions. So they understand valuation. And not that everyone that's in here lending is that guy, but believe me, there are people in here who are that guy. And the fact is, right? Oops, didn't need to click that. This guy was freaking out. His loan wouldn't be refinanced, or he was forced into a partial repay in 21 hours because the lender can call your loan due. But if the market, has the right conditions in it and you haven't taken excessive risk, there is liquidity to fucking bring you to finance your loans. So everyone's like, oh man, the lender has all the power. He's going to margin call me every fucking next minute. If you're not taking excessive risk, there's going to be liquidity from the creditors for the proper valuations. And this is what they now see. And this tells you what? This tells you that the, where did it go? This tells you that the market is far more developed than most people really believe. And Blur is actually, showing this by introducing an engine that allows for fucking more traditional market making inside their platform and adding leverage to it. These guys aren't planning for the end of the NFT wave. They are looking at a whole new era in NFTs to implement what basically is the lending structures under other traditional markets inside this marketplace. And unfortunately, they're having to let you know their next move because everyone's so panic-stricken and stupid and circle jerking each other with rubbish that if you don't fucking get in front of it, these assholes are going to cause a fucking disaster in the marketplace before you can actually let this thing happen. The influencers are trash. I'll say it and I say it again. These people are dumb fucking money. Right? Anyone rushing to write you mega page threads after the move has happened is a fucking steaming pile of fucking dog shit. Human. And that's all your good morning fucking cock-blowing pieces of soy protein drinking smoothie-ass bitches. They're all the same fucktard. And I treat them with the disdain that you should, because these people harm people just for clout. Everyone's like, oh, take it easy on this Well Swoosh guy. Why? Do you know what it would take for me to fucking do that? I'd have to be a bitch to fucking ever back off. Because in real life, right, you run into a motherfucker that's in your house stealing your fucking TV. When are you going to invite him over to dinner? I want to ask, so I can make sense of the good morning plebs. When do you exactly ask this piece of shit to come over and hang out next? I want to understand catching a motherfucker with my shit, lying about it, and why everyone on the internet gives that fucktard so much grace. In real life, if I punch you in the fucking face and steal your car, you gonna come hang out with me and make peace? What has the internet done to society but turned into a bunch of fucking pussies? And that is the reason fucking the rise of BRICS is happening, isn't it? No one wants what's coming from the soy culture in the rest of the world. The world is led by alphas, not bitches. And the internet in the West gave rise to the empty space having a voice. So everyone's a fat fucking bitch in swimsuit issues and shit like that nobody ever wanted to fucking see. All kinds of nonsense. You know, it's all kind of goes together. So I thought it was an interesting thing to think about. Memos and junk. Anyways, I ain't preaching. I'm just stating facts, motherfucker. It is what it is. What up, Nada? What the heck is a BGN, girl? I have no idea what the fuck that is. What the fuck unit of currency is a BGN? I have to look that up. I have no idea. USD BGN. Girl, that's not even on TradingView. What the world is that? That's pretty funny. So I saw an interesting tweet this morning that I want to share with you guys. Check this one out. This is a great chart. This is the one you send to all these fucking plebs when you see them. This is why these guys, you think about it, right? What's market making? Here, I'll explain it. What's going on in the lending poon? I can't believe this is happening. Quick, my 100,000 followers, you must know what I don't know. This is where bad ideas come from, right? The loudest fucking mouth in the room. You ever heard the empty barrel makes the most noise? That's these guys. But that noise gets out to everybody and just makes them move like a flock of birds, giving everybody the same bad information, the same misunderstandings, and the same amount of emotional impetus as the messenger of all this shit. Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a good one. I had another one I put up here. Where'd I put him? This guy. I'm going to add him to something else. Check this out. So we've been talking about BRICS and NATO. I thought this was an interesting one. Whoops. Look at this poll. From the time the Gallup poll has been taken, guys, in a hyperinflationary environment where everything that we need for like living is going through the ceiling. If you look at rent and living costs in New York City, they're the highest ever, right? And it's not that America's in such a boom cycle. It is the debasement of our purchasing power that is now turning into fucking like, you know, a cost of living's fucking fight for us all. Food and where to live is going absolutely moon. Interest rates are going up with it too. Your real estate prices are high and your cost to finance it is high. The cost to afford your life is just high. But this is definitely sentiment things, isn't it? A new low in U.S. says it's a good time to buy houses. In the inflationary arc that the fucking BRICS nations are forcing onto us, you have to understand that's a really amazing fucking sentiment to see right now when BRICS' attack is centered around this. Raising the cost of raw materials and raising the cost of fucking credit. If you don't have any real assets when they're done with this wave, you won't be able to afford fucking anything ever again. You're going to rent your lives. And we've talked about this, you know, on many shows in the past. Like the goal, not the goal, but where the world is trending towards is a place where the bulk of the citizenry rents everything. You know, like I told you, when BMW started renting you back your heated seats, that was a tell on where this is all going. You know, nice features in the item you already bought are going to be rented back to you. But everything is rising in cost, and along with interest rates. And the prevailing wisdom in like the last, you know, many decades has been rising rates tend to fucking lower asset prices. But the fundamentals driving, or oops, this is so small. The fundamentals driving or rising rates are nothing like what we've seen in the last couple of decades. And Buffett and Munger have come out and kind of expressed that, right? The great times for America might be behind them because the fundamental drivers that allowed America to fucking benefit by feeding off the world are no longer there. The world has gotten together and said enough of this shit. And so now you have a genuine problem, right? So we talk about this. Where is he? All right. This was NATO's view of the world, and the whole world in NATO's boom cycle was just the resources. Every country was something to feed fucking the Western, you know, white power, and everyone was second class. So much so they tactically crippled every fucking municipality around the world, every sovereign power, crippled their fucking currencies, crippled their exports, crippled their trade, crippled everyone to the point that in a recession, the whole world suffers our recession. No one has a boom now that's not correlated with the United States. The US has enslaved the entire fucking planet. And the planet has grown to a place, well, there's a lot of fucking people to keep those shackles on. And complacency has led people to think that things are like they were 50 years ago. This number should fucking really wake people up. When I was born in the land before time, the population in the year I was born, oh, let's not do that. Well, okay, fuck it, you're ready to hold on, is 4 billion. We're exactly double the amount of humans under this slave fucking regime today. And of these 8 billion people, 4 or 5 of these nations are now nuclear armed versions of what they had shackles on. I don't know anybody who has a nuclear weapon you call a slave. But the fact is the US hasn't stopped treating the rest of the world like a slave. And that is going to piss off a lot of people who do hold nuclear weapons, right? As you sell your bullshit over here that you're going to go save fucking lives. My ass. No one's buying this story anymore. But y'all keep selling this shit, right? And honestly, these guys aren't really keeping their moves in secret, are they? They're very much telling you we're going to kill the United States, kill the dollar, and kill your fucking your horror regime that the world has been suffering under. It's definitely something to pay attention to. But sentiment things, definitely, right? With regard to seeing that housing chart, I thought that was pretty interesting because this is exactly the wrong sentiment. If anything you want in this world is to own fucking assets, given what they're about to do to you. If you're living in a country like, in Argentina, who just raised interest rates to fucking 97% to try and curb their runaway inflation, the only thing you could hope to have any wealth left in that nation is real estate assets or some business assets that have kept valuations with the debasing dollar, or debasing Argentinian peso. So, like, this is definitely a sentiment thing. In the entire history of the Gallup poll, this is the single worst reading ever seen from the fucking end of the 70s, the high inflation era of the 70s. Definitely something worth keeping an eye on. What do you guys think? Pretty interesting, right? I thought so. 921. Something coming soon for us, guys. So we have some stuff that we're going to do some token gated events on Cyber just released password protected ecosystem, so we can do basically effectively this without any NFTs in possession and stop stragglers from roaming through our trading floor. So this is very cool that this has finally arrived. So we'll probably be doing that with our next live trade on the floor. What's wrong with crypto? Crypto dick butts is what's wrong with crypto. They tell me me and the mask of the CBC makes us look bad. Is that a fucking licensing violation? I hope that's not registered music. God fucking damn it. Never touch any of these fucking videos. Man. MTV barrel makes it, yep. Do I think that's an interesting question, right? Brandon said, what about high income earners like lawyers and doctors? Do you think they will maintain their position and live comfortably relative to the lower middle class? I mean, if they're the high income earners of society, they're going to tend to be in that relative position. But everybody exposed to this particular ecosystem is suffering the cost of, suffering rising costs. So will they live relatively better than the lower and middle class as long as they maintain their income differential? Absolutely, in relative terms. Audio, hold on. This thing be doing some stuff. Let me check. No, my microphone's high. I might be on your end. But the high income earner threshold to live comfortably relative to the cost basis of the United States is what's changing, right? If you are in New York City right now, you are a check-to-check person if you're making $250,000. That's new. As of this year, that's never been a thing before. I think a couple years ago, you could be a check-to-check person at about $100,000 in New York City. Today, if you're making about $250,000, you are literally living check-to-check in your household. That's a fucking insane thought to even think about, right? And it's like, well, that's a lot of money to earn. No, your money's actually not buying that much, is the real reality of it. And so, you have to pay attention to this. The question about will lawyers maintain a better position than doctors and people in society? Yes, but the society as a whole is what's moving. And so that's what we're trying to really, focus on. The doctors and lawyers that live in America will live relatively less as well over time than the doctors and lawyers in the BRICS nations that inherit the rotation they're doing to us, right? They're trying to steal our quality of life. And so the quality of life that you want to compare is not within the system that's being totally affected, but take your A-class property in America and measure it against your A-class property inside BRICS, and you'll get a more meaningful relationship by looking at it that way. But it's a good question. I like that one. AI may replace a lot of lawyers and doctors. AI should replace a lot of lawyers and doctors because, to be honest with you, I spent 5 years fighting this fucking this Twitter fucking prison shit, and man, they're just a bunch of scumbags. How I solved it versus what the fuck really went on is pretty mind blowing. At one point, the first lawyer I talked to, this guy flying around the fucking planet in Brazil. He literally was out of his office 3 weeks out of the fucking year, but he had the connections to get to Twitter. 80 grand up front, and I'll let you know, probably need another 400 or 500 later, and there's no guarantees. And I'm like, well, why the fuck would I pay you the 80 first? Next guy is like, oh, your case is worth fucking 8 digits, but the honest with you, Section 32 is unbeatable. Donald Trump can't beat it. So what we're gonna have to do is, probably put up about 800 grand for a retainer. It's gonna probably take about 3 to 5 years of your life. Twitter's probably gonna fucking drag you out. And then, they're going to try to fucking lowball you. And, if it comes down to it, we can run a campaign on TV and show how they damage your family. I'm like, this is all the crazy stuff I was told across the years fighting Twitter. Ultimately, it was solved inside of about 48 hours when I finally reached the right person internally. Pretty fucking crazy. These lawyers suck. And don't let me tell you about fucking doctors, because anybody in my ecosystem knows, fuck them. Fuck those guys. None of those motherfuckers know shit. I got fucking VIP points in the fucking ER. I ain't got a fucking answer yet. I really do love this color scheme. This shit came out fire. The blue is dope, isn't it? It's just good. I like that. I gotta use this guy more often. One time a doctor told me I had cancer in my foot when it was a broken bone. Can't wait for AI to replace that. Wow. Well, yeah, I've seen some unbelievable misdiagnoses in my time also. So we're 9:26 for you guys that need to wrap up and go into the bell and pay attention, stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and set you up with something to leave the show with. So I'm going to try to do this a little better for you guys that need to leave now. So I rebuilt our murder cluster chart, motherfuckers. So the problem is they deleted the actual data feed of the one I made it on. The exchange is gone. So there's no getting it back. They didn't wipe it out. They wiped out the data feed of the SPX 500 that it was first on. So I rebuilt this guy. I'm putting the Chinese New Year shootings were January 14th, right around here, right? We had a little shooting thing that happened here. I forgot to mark that one. And then there's another one I had too. Oh, the casual shootings, right? The casual shootings that were happening in March, coming out of backwardation, where everyone's popping each other. There was some crazy shit here, right? Everyone started to just shoot random people, cheerleaders, everybody was getting fucking shot. And so we use this, unbelievably, as a sentiment read on dead bodies and price because of, what it really translates to. The literal definition of dead bodies and bear cycles, is a thing. And this is part of the sentiment underneath the market right now as we, rotate and show some strength in tech, show some strength in Japan. Congrats on everybody who played the fucking killer Google wave. Saw somebody play the Nintendo wave, All right, Japan and some spotty tech is the only place that strength really exists, but it does exist. And, crypto, BTC being up a fucking 100% since January and nobody in my room giving a flying fuck when my entire room originates from crypto is sentiment things for sure. Again, if we're talking about rising asset prices around the planet and a fucking worsening fucking purchasing power of all our currencies in the West, then anything but currency should, anything but our currency staying in it should be fucking something we look at. And the reality is, real estate's really expensive. Look at housing, right? This is a housing ETF. We talked about this before. Remember, put this on the show. No one thinks housing is a thing, right? Because high interest rates. But housing is absolutely strong. All right, we showed you Pulte and all these guys to pay attention to. If ITB went, ITB is the basket of fucking home builders, and that's literally fucking, housing is strong in the exact kind of economic conditions people don't believe it should be with rising interest rates. But the reality is somebody up there is absorbing these properties, and if you don't buy them, you're gonna be renting it back from some large, institutional. So this is to go with our little housing memo in the very beginning. So we are at 9:28. Let's get. I know you guys is he really gonna do it? Is he really gonna do it? Hold on a second. Where the hell is that master list? Master list. I'm coming fast as we can go. So what we got? This is what you guys are. This is what really moving. Some tech stuff. We said Google them might be kind of playing towards. Where did I put it? When I was TV, this guy. Let's clean up some of this garbage for you guys to make life simple. Nobody needs my plays. All right, so we're looking at the NAS, and I've given you guys a little range between like climax high and like the other climax high to pay attention to, and now we're sitting on top of that system, right? And like I said, the SPY is still trapped inside of the phantom zone, so it's very selective assets that are really moving because indexes themselves, US indexes, are not best of breed. So as far as you go right now, you're still sitting in that crazy place, right? You're still sitting, oh, this is not it, SPY. All right, you're still sitting in the phantom zone. It's still a shit show right now. The Qs are the only thing really showing any signs of life, and it's been kind of a grind to actually get any benefit in the indexes, right? You've had to be like really selective about the stocks that are leading it. You know, these guys, we're open right now. Now, NVIDIA, this is where the strength has been. Apple, and a few guys like Meta, Google. And as much as you start seeing the news now kind of saying, well, the market's not being led by the broad market. It's being led by just like 15% of fucking like the entire S&P. That's actually not the worst thing in the world, right? That lends back to what we talked about by Apple, you know, so goes Apple, so goes the market. If the best of breed assets are repricing up, what do you think is more likely? That the kind of money it takes to reprice the fucking market higher with the biggest, you know, cap stocks, 3 of them fucking $1 trillion, is being pushed by fucking like the crowd or by smart money? And if the crowd, if the smart money believes that fucking those houses in your neighborhood, the fucking, you know, best houses in the neighborhood are now worth 30% more than they were yesterday, either the smart money has no fucking clue what they're doing, you know, forward pricing these assets like that, or they're telling you where the rest of the market's going to reprice to when the rest of the neighborhood catches up to the best of breed. So that's kind of how you want to look at it, right? And that's kind of like, think about it in real estate terms. When you're in real estate and you come out of a cycle, the first thing you see moving is really single family homes, right? And the best in class. Your A-tier properties will get snapped up by your biggest discount buyers. The shit that moves very last will be your condos and your lower tier properties, right? Properties you have less rights. If you don't know, single family homes, you know, you own the house and you own the land underneath it and all that, and you own the condo. You actually own the walls inside. You don't own any of the land. So a condo is like the shittiest way to have home ownership, you know. And you're also exposed to insane condo fees and assessments and shit like that. But in a real estate boom, you know, you can consider not, you know, as far as grade of property, your single family home, your A, your townhome, your B, and your condo, your C, and you'll see them move, you know, behind one another slowly like that. You also have like obviously your A and B tier fucking type of you know A market and mom and pop working class, and of course like hood properties. That's a different kind of A, B, and C classification. But you do want to see Apple, Meta, NVIDIA, Google repricing higher. I don't want to see the junk flying without those guys. There's no way those guys could possibly be benefiting before the fucking big dogs are. So more to sentiment things, right? Make sense? Man alive. Let's see. So, with regard to things like, you know, where you are now. So I had to give you that context where we are, what's going on. So we look at Qs and stuff, where we are here. We're nested up against this. We're running into like the last high to really kill the downtrend that put the NAS into its low. We really need to beat the last high. This is what created it in our bull flag. So that has yet to even happen. It's just now starting to threaten that kind of movement. But we do want to pay attention to this for sure, for sure. With regard to the NQs, for you guys who are trading this thing, right, it's a bit of a shit show. But we are stable on top of this system, and we are in trend, right? We are definitely out. But you guys, you definitely want to be careful with this thing because you're not best of breed, and the corrections will raid like every level you hide underneath. And so, you know, definitely err on the side of being a little more cautious. You know, playing into a bull market is easy money because the market movements are so strong. You get away with really sloppy shit. When you're dealing with a not best of breed asset like the US is right now, you have to be extremely fucking careful if you're going to bother touching that at all. And like I said, right now, the best of breed is really only 15% of the S&P. It's not everything. So playing index is exceedingly difficult for those of you that are trading NASDAQ because the NASDAQ, well, 85% of it's not doing what you wish it was. And so the NAS isn't moving the kind of gas you're used to seeing in like a really strong tech wave. But that being said, paying attention where you are now, right? It's been a slow grind up. We've been talking about this guy on the show for a while. We've been putting him right on here. And You look at it really, how far have we gotten over this system from fucking April? It's amazing, but we haven't really gone fuck all anywhere. So as we sit on top of this very large system, and we have this test and the dump test back to this box range we gave you, and we sit up here, you're in the best place to see him get like a blow off type move. But again, like we talked about in our concept call, patience is a virtue, right? And obviously make a plan that makes sense of whatever resolution you're dealing with along this trend wave. All right, so I'll get back to the macro here in a second. Way more symbols than Monday. Oh, was that a sentiment read and a half for that pop when you guys asked nothing, which means no one is paying attention after Pepe, and the market fucking went flying yesterday and made a new high? So that definitely sentiment things, right? Very infrequently does that happen, but when it happens that everyone forgets to ask shit, no one's eyes is on the next opportunity. And that's why that show is about hindsight mindedness versus being foresight minded, because that's exactly what happens, right? While everyone's looking the wrong way, opportunity is knocking. All right, let's see. So let's finish your macro breakdown. I'll get to your symbols. All right, so we talked about SPY stuck in the phantom zone already. VIX things. That's not my current VIX chart, is it? What the heck is going on? Oh, okay, yeah. So we had the spike to 21. Always keep tabs on that. This is the bull flag that we're worried about. If he rotates and gets strength, he's going to de-risk the market again. So tends to make these little ranges, and I always pay attention to those. He's made a little stable range right here. And so the next movement he does, right, if he starts to rotate back through this up that way, we really give a shit. Can he get down through underneath the angle? That would be something. This is a long-term angle that is really tracking what we think is going to lead into VIX-mageddon coming out of 2017, right? If this fucking basically is on the angle and rotates through here, big danger. So keep eyes on that. Probably set up some alerts and things on it and stuff, So high off of here, yeah, I'd probably say this at the top of this box range, 1833, if he leaves this zone and heads back up here. And it's basically, let's make this a little neater. It's basically on the bottom of this range, right? Orange, because orange is always death. All right, so that's VIX, DXY things, right? In the event of de-risking, usually your home currency fucking gets a little stronger. That's the other danger that we were worried about here. And so we talked about the bull flag on the DXY. And if he came back down to level, could he rotate again? Or would the attack on BRICS push him through? BRICS didn't push him through. And so if you guys are paying attention to this, you could have paid attention to this level. And then, you'd have had things you could have played shorts. We were looking for a corrective structure here. You got a stable range and he eventually rotates down and he's heading to his angle. So we're going to pay attention to how this all plays out. If the euro holds there and the DXY just has a small breath, of relief before he fucking resumes what was happening in this greater trend. For now then, right, that's a wait and see type attitude for you currency guys. You should then wait and see. That is the lowest low, so that's your bull flag on him, right? And so this is what's going to help you time if the DXY is going to fucking stop that low push it's got and resume the greater trend. These guys will realign to their overall trends. So it's GBP. That saw some of you guys. We did this on Cyber. Congrats to everyone who played it. It was kind of funny just making it in there. Am I retarded? What? Oh, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's my little memo? Made live and on Cyber, bitches. So easy play. I only saw like 2 people really capitalize on this. I know a lot of people don't look at currencies. You're in the middle of a currency war, literally a global currency war, an attack on the dollar. And if you saw last night, Venezuela dropped the US dollar as a trading currency. Many nations getting the balls to finally say we refuse to settle to your currency, which is part of what gives us our valuation, right? Remember that the definition that Andreessen gave us for Bitcoin is the velocity of value through the ledger in a given moment of time. Like a garden hose. The more water I blast through it, per minute, it requires that the garden hose to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how the US dollar works. By forcing everyone to sell in the US dollar, it bolsters our currency's valuation and sabotages everybody else in interconnected markets with us. One of the reasons many nations hate us for that shit. So it's definitely worth paying attention to. So congrats on we played that. Mexico is a new bull market in North America. Nobody knows it, right? It's literally the strongest thing on this side of the water, and nobody would believe that. But it's crazy, right? You gotta look where no one else is looking. These guys, I think, still worth paying attention to. The overall basket of JPY look pretty good, and JPY itself is exceedingly weak now in the G7, and that's important for Japan to be strong, right? Your assets are going to be stronger if the currency that they're denominated get weaker over time. They're going to reprice. It's like when the dollar gets strong, it's done a deflationary effect to our risk assets, right? The money flows away from the assets back into the currency. Well, Japan is an export-based nation who their main monetary policy is to keep the currency weak. And in their resurgence, right, this is what their tactic is. So a weak currency and a resurging Japan is exceedingly bullish to every Japanese yen pair out there, especially ones not affected by what's going on by the U.S. So MXN, who is deviated in their relationship with the U.S. and are aligned with BRICS, and everybody else are showing amazing strength towards the yen. So definitely a money play for anybody to pay attention to this. Pay attention to MXN. Hope you guys crush that. Sorry, wasn't on the right screen, was I? Yeah, GBP, Euro, all that, right? So I think all these guys stay on your radar, right? There's the last bull flag we gave you, pushed out of it, actually held it. Yeah, JPY is in a very macro wave of value loss. So I would pay attention to this guy. This was the huge wedge we showed you on the Euro Yen. He's been in it since fucking 14. Been a while. 9 years. Exit. These are massive shockwaves. And the last time we ever drew it, hey, this is, I don't even remember this fucking plan. When did we make this? So we had this high here. Yeah, you probably come out and do a flag on top of it. See? There's your flag on top of it right there. It's called not the flag too. Easy way to wait for a wedge to leave, right? So good shit. And we are giving you this trajectory here. If he held that trajectory, it comes out and he does this one. So worth keeping an eye on everything fucking JPY. Currency stuff. So stocks, VIX, DXY, crypto things. Keeping an eye on this guy. Right now, so we talked about if this got here and dumped off a non-beta level, it would be a key level to pay attention to. It remember last time we drew this in there. Drew it from this week, so he didn't make it. He wicked the base of this, didn't reach our red level. This is our main trigger though, where he wicked off of, so we do want to pay attention to that. This has been a pretty solid bull flag rotation up here, but kind of anemic, so we should track him like so. Be precise about your geometry, remember. And ultimately we want this to happen and him to rotate over to the base and do something like that if we're looking for a really broad crypto bull move. But for right now, right, crypto's only had very limited strength in a few little pocket areas. One of those areas, surprisingly enough, is fucking Litecoin again, which you always pay attention when he catches strength with nobody else, right? Litecoin halving is coming, if you guys pay attention to that. But Charlie is a pumper of pumpers, and Litecoin halving is the kind of news that crew will use to fucking manipulate the shit out of people. So Litecoin is a little late strength here. Definitely something worth noting, as they in their own cycle are heading towards their halving first. And then, BTC's halving is, I believe, less than a year away also. So always pay attention to the halving events. They're like significantly news generating, market moving sentiment wise. And your miners are the biggest beneficiaries of what goes on with this, or your node holders. So right now, I think I had a different graph for you. Where did I put it? This one. Oh, that's the OG one. God damn it. This one, right. So right here, I drawn in here just to kind of something cleaner with not so much junk on it, right? Old Litecoin cycle and, the new bull market, and then a potential fucking another bull market possibly coming at us if the Litecoin cycle is, foretells what it told last time. So watching right here at the base of this massive dump location before he rallied, it was a good location to kind of project a resistance and then see if he corrects from here and what he does. So just to kind of scale into that guy, and probably worth keeping track of, because Litecoin is a good barometer of risk-seeking behavior in crypto. We want to see when he managed to rotate and get, back above this range we just notated. Let me make this guy exactly where he should be, right there. Probably not make everything blue, huh? It's a little stupid. Fine. There you go. All right, so Litecoin and where he's at now is definitely big cycle fucking things for crypto, and it shouldn't leave your radar. This guy's been a reliable fucking barometer for what's going on in crypto for as long as I've been in the marketplace. Okay, so that's Litecoin. So the crypto stocks there. I think that's it. All right, I can do your symbols now, I think. Guys, get all that? Yep. Was there no screen on that one too? I didn't just have the screen up right there? Confound it, Jackson. Did you guys not see the Litecoin thing? Okay. My bad. I didn't have my monitor screen up, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hold on a second. Must cancel unnecessary order. Alright. Alright, so your symbols. Nat gas. Nat gas. Oh god, where do I have this one? You guys definitely asked this. Hold on a sec. I've definitely done this. Nat gas. Ay caramba. Somebody help me remember what chart I did that on. Let's see. I think I did it this one. Natural gas. This thing. Thank God. I knew I did it. So, God, fucking damn it. Can't remember so many fucking symbols. Alright. What a disaster in nat gas. So, let's look at him. Whoops. So looking at his bull flag, right, and the waves of the bull flag, here's the or last major low, and then the 2B low of all of these guys that we recall from. I like this level here. This level is tested, mildly 2B'd, and then broken through as our key floor level. So watching him dump down to this right now, not even sure of all the news flow that actually took him out here, but it's definitely something major to create a fucking dump bar like that. We watched this trend angle here when he was rising, see if he could rotate up to a trigger zone we like. Never made it, fell back through the angle. So it's been a while since we pulled this up. Whoops. Let's go ahead and adjust this geometry to where it should be. And that's kind of what you're watching now, right? Does he hold the floor that he put in here on top of this system and manage to meander out of this? That's kind of what I would watch for now with him here. We're still in an energy crisis. He may have dislocated heavily. It's not unknown for nat gas to do insane shit like he's doing right now, right? He does insane cliff dives like this all the time. And this pretty much removes anybody from giving a fuck about it, which allows him to do this shit afterwards, right? The moves are just so extreme. And they're extreme enough to generate the kind of hyper emotionality that you see in things like Pepe, and people just look away and never want to see it again. So I think at this kind of speed and now slowing down to congest and create a position, create a location that you can build a monopoly of perception. Now it warrants watching it, that he's actually slowed down. High volatility begets low volatility begets high volatility, right? So I think that's worth paying attention to. USD Thai baht. So the USD under attack. What does it look like in some other South Asian currencies? And not sure about the economic policies that govern the baht, but let's look at him in terms of the dollar versus yen and see if we see any kind of relationship, and we kind of do. So remember I tell you currencies trade kind of regionally. You see European currencies doing well together, North American currencies kind of tracking together, South Asia, ex-Japan tend to track together. Not sure about the economic policies of Thailand so much so, but I can see this. And the dollar is maintaining a certain amount of strength against him. It doesn't look like the way the European euro looks. So we can look at USD euro, right, where the strength really is against the dollar. So you want to measure from where this. Let's have a way bunch of time here. Jeez, I didn't realize how far back that was. So let's look at it from the trenches. Well, in all honesty, right, the dollar is stronger against the yen than he is against the baht. And he does have a great degree of correlation here. We can kind of see this pullback. Probably need to zoom in a bit more on this guy. Let's see what's exactly going on here. So since the dollar is actually managed to hold its ground against the fucking yen, the dollar U has just managed to get a little bit of a breather here. So this is the dollar's only strength against it. In this little period where the euro is crushing things, you can see the yen deviates right here in April. But we do see a bit more strength in the Thai baht. So he's not quite in alignment with this, but he's also not as strong as the euro. definitely a tough call. Like I said, like, given that the U.S. itself is not really the best of breed guy, it may not be the U.S. dollar that makes the most sense to play with regarding the bat, right? If you're looking to play, like, let's flip this over. Like a bull market in Thai baht versus dollar, if the dollar is going to maintain weakness, there's better guys like the euro that have better strength in it. So I kind of don't know if this is like the greatest pairing in the sea of, like, best of breeds you could kind of line up. But let's look at something like, do they have this? Yeah, the Mexico Thai baht. Now I can make sense of what I want to do with this chart. So a lot of people are very U.S. cross-centric because that's the way it's presented. But there's a lot of pairings out there that create a lot greater opportunities if you think a little bit more creatively. So right now you have the dollar kind of lining up on the bat like that. We know that the dollar is already rotated on the yen. But when we look at Mexico, Mexico has been running on the bat, right? And so maybe a couple of the currencies will give you a greater perspective on what's really going on over there. Where are we at? Let's take that. USDT.D, I did that. XBI, Biotech Index. Have I never had this guy? XBI. Okay. This is the last time we looked at this guy. Is this how long ago we looked at this? This is the last flag we were drawing it. So that's like back in 2022. So yeah, it's a big ass bull flag that you might rotate. I think that pretty much is it. Can go into obviously a lower resolution, but yeah. So he's just about ready to rotate that, it looks like, and he's holding his last major low here. It's got a little 2B action on it, so that's pretty good. He fucked somebody over on the tip of the spear, right? The tip of the spear from COVID. So that's a great level to just mildly stop on the low. See shit like that, Very big possibility that that's next, right? We're not going to put that, though, because he's already all the way over here. But yeah, bull flag that has a possible chance of rotation. Obviously put better trend lines on it than my fucking, hand me draws. Go ahead and get the proper geometry lined up on this guy. Flag down it. And so this is definitely worth paying attention to as he attempts to rotate out of here, right? And you could probably draw in this guy, too. You're paying attention to what he does here, right? I think in looking at this guy, it's a real shit show. Let's see. That's probably like a range that's probably safer for him to gas out, to sit on top of it here, flag, test, and gas. He probably has better chance of like being, stronger moving up here. He can move from where he's up to get up here. You have to be a little more nimble to play that, but he'll probably have ease of movement above that trigger. But yeah, big ass bull flag things. RBUSD. Did you guys, which one is it again, guys? Is it Arboretum or is it, which one of these is it? Somebody tell me what this one is. I'm not sure. I remember yesterday I couldn't figure out which one it was. Is it ARB as in, nope, it's probably not that one. ARB USD, is it Arboretum? ARB. One of these charts is filled in more than the other. I know you guys asked me this. That one's really filled in. It's this one, right? No, that's AR. That's something else. God damn it. Is it this one? ARB, that one. No, fuck. Which one was it? Shit. RBUSDT? There it is. Sweet Jesus. Just say USDT. Fuck my life. Okay, this one. Oh, jeez. Alright, found it. Yeah, he had a structure like this. Never left it, though. We never got the breakup move from it. Kind of tracked that and that. And so now he's actually stopped out the level of this flag. We always care about flags that lead to your most recent highs. They're good lines in the sand. So I think, this guy's got another chance in him. He holds the 2B he's done to this level. And now you watch to see if he can complete a rotation of his bull flag that has 2B this low. Right? ARB, MU. It's the old one. We have this guy already done. So yeah, I think I mentioned this. No, I probably didn't, but we were talking about like Nvidia and stuff, right? If Nvidia is repricing really semiconductor markets higher, they do have some specific news. It's all them. The AI news and some of the stuff they're involved in is not really shared, but it is kind of like sentiment-wise important to kind of think about it when you think about other semiconductors that share valuations based on Nvidia and what they do, right? KLA 10 core and all these guys. All right, really? I don't have anything on this stock? No, that's bullshit. I definitely have Clack. Man, this is crazy. I know I did T on Clack. Clack's like one of the first semiconductors I traded in the first weeks I ever traded in a hedge fund in 2001. It's pretty funny. Semiconductors are like the only thing they tell you to fucking look at. Novell, Clack, M-Chip, and what was the other guy? And Intel. Pretty funny. But yeah, that's back here. Dinosaur times. Actually, right here. So I got my job. Septiembre. The worst month in all of fucking history to get a trading job. Right behind 9/11. Money. Anyways, so let's put this guy's pretty good looking. So with regard to Nvidia, right, we can see this guy doesn't look half bad either, right? And then you just asked me which one? MU? I think all the semiconductors should be on watch, right? If what we're seeing in Nvidia isn't fucking a one-off, and the smart money is pushing the biggest fucking companies in the S&P aren't fucking retarded, there's a good chance that the rest of the neighborhood is going to give chase to the fucking alpha guy, not the other way around. So watching this right now, we have a good trigger here to see if you can escape it. A nice congestion line, flag here that correlates to Clack's flag right there. So I think, both of these guys are probably worth keeping on your radar. We can always put the boink. Watch what he does if he gets up here. See if he sets up a man. Always remember Pepe lessons, right? It can keep going. Now bull flags only looks. Oh, remember this is a split chart. It has the OTA from up in the air. Right. It's a bull flag. It's a bull flag. It's a bull flag. It doesn't matter if it's Pepe or Nvidia. It's just, forget the time scale. Right. Never get caught up in the fact that your stock chart has reached the top of your physical screen. That's a stupid reason to call the end of a move. Nvidia, MU, Mana. Mana's moving last night. I did see that. Didn't see if there's any news to get him to move, but I did see Mana move like 7% overnight. Where is he at? Right here. So Mana is unusually strong in a sea of fucking not so strong crypto. So I see somebody picked up on that. That was the last time we did Mana. Boy, it's been a while. Where's my fucking crosshair? Holy crap. Well, we like big bull flags that lead to climax highs. We just said that with ARB, right? And with BTC also. That's one of our major levels. You can't pay attention to the bull flags that help generate your big highs, right? Like this guy, this bull flag that was the only system above the 2017 cycle that led to the climax has become a major line in the sand. So, what was that one again? Mana. So Mana BTC, not Mana BTC, Mana USD. Well, probably worth paying attention to, right? This is where a large pump came from. This is the trigger. So Mana BTC is at least at an inflection point, and Mana USD has already put in a 2B through that same bull flag. So if he's got a chance of recovering, we'll adjust this. This thing became a lot more granular. The angle went out a little bit, so you have to reflect for that. Now, can he actually get any strength, and is there anything news flow coming to save Mana from fucking the depths of Decentraland complacency? That will be news flow. You'll probably be too late if you wait on it, but will originate likely within this structure if it's going to happen. So Mana showing some signs of life. That strength, is it a test pump? Maybe. I can't say I see enough volume in it to say it is, but probably worth paying attention that he had any life at all, and he's actually run the corrective structure. He's run all the way from down here to stopping this level. Litecoin is showing some signs of seeking appetite. That's like, a little degenerate. So probably worth keeping that guy on your radar. That was a good swing level. We told you. If you went through this fucking trigger down here, it'd be fucking death, right? Boink. It was death. All right. Mickey D's, which is in your OnlyFans. Chilling at 293. Got a little corrective. That's where we gave you the OnlyFans chart for him. Now he's up in the fucking air. A lot of things in food have been really strong. Pepsi looks like that also. These guys went out, and so they're parabolic as they are. Require a little bit of time to correct and see if they hold, their trend resolutions, and rotate and continue the fucking trajectory of this wave that they're on, or if this is going to correct into something deeper. So Mickey D's and Pep are kind of like the same place. You can watch these guys too, and this is like tied to like a PB&J. Like you guys know, it's pretty funny, right? I didn't call it PB&J, but this is like your dynamic food, and this is an ETF that contains Pep and Mickey D's and stuff like that. And there's been definitely some strength in here with some of the not so nice luxury food, the places people are going as eating becomes harder and harder to afford. Mickey D's is numero uno. So I think you're just waiting on that. Matic. Matic. Where did you go? Matic. Wow. What the hell is that? Damn, when did we draw this? Squiggles. Alright, well, there's one projection for this squiggle. So it's down in there. And so the thought process when I drew this, I guess I didn't explain my box range yet. Thought process is you could have held the first trigger we had here that we put out when we put the sheet out originally on January 24th. That trigger comes from, sorry, a little bit foggy, just catching up. Yeah, that trigger is an OG trigger we had back here that we developed for this range, and it sat here, never got out, didn't stick out, bull flag, didn't make it out. And we're watching this angle of attack here. Could he come and fade the angle and throw people off and then recorrect and go back to the angle? We talk about that move that we've drawn a few times for you in the show. That's a possibility, right? That's very much what this is, right? And this is just how price rotates from one resolution of time to another. By doing this, right, it's just in a higher time frame uptrend. So that's what it looks like when you change time frames. So with this guy cutting through here right now, this is like, one of the paths we drew for you. This is path A. He holds the trigger and is so strong he just lands on it and takes off. Or he dips through here, mind fucks everybody in the angle, and dips into this very heavy range of volume he's got. Right. You can see that, right? The biggest volume, not there, but when you look at him like this, right, you can see the biggest volume he's really got, caramba, in this area is up here. Right, this little box range. So he's dipped into it. If he gets back on top of it again, that would be a really bullish thing. So pay attention to that. It's safer up here too. If he regains this, that'll definitely prove the point that he's tested this area of volume and it supported it, and we're back on top of it, and that'll put him in a place where he can get some gas again if the crypto market's going to go underneath it. So probably worth paying attention to what we're seeing in Mana, seeing in Litecoin. There's definitely some things moving around in the underbelly of the crypto market. Let's see. LTC BTC, LTC ETH, LTC USD. Are you fucking serious? LTC basket, motherfucker. FTSE 100. I'll get back to LTC. Did I just go over LTC? We'll pull that one up in a second. I'll just finish the FTSE. God damn it. Let's just go get the LTC chart. Well, I showed you the LTC USD, so let's look at LTC ETH. Where do we have him? Kraken. Okay. So LTC ETH, we had a flag here, never happened. LTC's first strength, that was kind of giving us a hint that the crypto market was stronger than we thought. ETH kind of took over and got a little stronger. This doesn't mean this is totally dead, and especially with the halving coming, we just need to redraw this guy. So it's just a bull flag that's that deeper trajectory. She's still watching it there, and still has that kind of potential. We do have a news flow for it. And then LTC BTC. Damn. I know I have LTC BTC. Oh, screen stuff. Gotcha. Why is my monitor back? Okay, my bad. Let me go back there. So we had LTC BTC, and it's like I said, it's not that it's wrong. It's just that it's a longer bull flag with a deeper trajectory, like that. So this was up here, and the old projection was up there. So we just moved him down. So I think you're still watching them, and you do have a news flow for LTC Ethereum and LTC BTC. So let's put LTC BTC over top of this LTC BTC. And look at the structure of what we've got. And so the same bull flag is there. Go make me do the whole fucking basket, you motherfucker. Alright, but that's what you're watching. LTC is essentially showing strength in a couple places. LTC, ETH, and USD. Then we'll add USD, which we've done earlier. I'm showing you a little possible strength forming where he was. And so you can see it, right? LTC broadly is making moves across crypto and the dollar. And he has news flow for halving. I think you pay attention to this guy. Alright, there's all three of them at once, you son of a bitch. The UK. Where is he? UK. Really? I don't have TA for that? That's odd. Man, I never know if they're deleting feeds or what the fuck. I'm sure. Really? I've never drawn a single thing on the fucking UK index. That seems not likely. Alright, paying attention to the previous high they went into right here that we have visible here. Man, I need a lot more chart than this. Why is it so limited? Yeah, we definitely need more data than that. I can't see like that. What the actual fuck? FTSE 100. Motherfuckers, everybody got a chart, like a decent one? Am I retarded or is this like seeming too hard to find for me? A good fucking FTSE chart that goes back a distance. What the fuck has happened to this thing? Let's see you. God damn, what the fuck? Dude, this is ridiculous. Who has fucking this thing? Come on, Oanda. Thank God. What the actual fuck? Who the hell would want a fucking chart with like 2 weeks on it? The fuck kind of stupid shit is that? Alright, fuck, I knew I'd done this thing before. So, God knows when this was. Since I didn't know where the fuck it was. So we had a bull flag structure at top here. We're looking for it to hold cleanly around the trigger. He's yet to do it. He came out. He had a flag that came up and then never made a clean structure. Dumped back through it. And this is kind of not where exactly we want him, like a little higher to kind of show it. So not really chopping inside this range. This was the high we noted. It was a key high. 2B through it. And he congested on it. It's congesting on it. He's not been the best of breed in Europe. It's been France and Germany. So you're looking for him to kind of just get above this trigger and stay clear of it to set up a system that can leave from there. And he's just been unable to do it. So one thing I said, when you have a key high and a climax 2B high, you should mark them both. They tend to form really good ranges between two emotional extremes that can give you a good spot to play in. See? It's a really good spot. So let's get him to get through here, and then, he probably looks a little better. We can kill that guy. If he can rotate up through that, he'll look a lot better. What the fuck? Alright. 7309. Shimano. Ooh, cool. From TSC. Alright. Oh, wow, we've done this one. Shit, I don't remember that. There you go. When the hell did we do this? That's a long time ago. We had a flag here. He did push out. Didn't get collapsed from this angle. Back to his old system. What a stable range that is, huh? In a stable range from 15 all the way through 20 for half a decade stable range. I think that looks pretty good. That's his ultimate low. He 2B'd it ever so slightly. Probably then go with that. And can he dip through this system and fuck people? Yeah, he could. I think you're looking for something along these lines though, right? If he comes out of there. To go with Japanese strength, right? Oh wait, no, this is Taiwan. Is it Tokyo Stock Exchange? This is Tokyo. My bad. Shimano. Yeah, that's 7309, and then TLT. We haven't had this gap in a while. TLT underneath. What do we have here? Forget a little bit. Okay, the low of this bull flag. Lows of bull flags that lead to all-time highs. Always key levels to pay attention to. Had a bear flag under that level. Wouldn't really care unless he got back above it to do something here, right? So for now, he's kind of got a bear flag, and he may put in his final low. You're watching this right now. If this can actually turn to allow the price to head that way and rotate his bull flag, that could be possible given the range he's landed in here. Right, and we also need to see the Fed come to the end of their policy cycle, which a few pundits on Wall Street believe that they've hit that mark with the kind of banking trouble that we're having right now, and that they have seen meaningful pullbacks in some inflation metrics per the ones they watch. This is probably a good timing location to pay attention to where we've gotten to right now and see if he can kind of structure out something like this. Let me not make the whole fucking thing yellow. So this bull flag can get deleted. We don't need that anymore. I'll leave all that old stuff in there. Honda Motor Company, lots of Japanese questions. Interesting. Now you care about Japan, and that bitch is parabolic. So, well, that's just today. That's the 2D. What's he doing? Like Lorez? Yeah, it's a bit of a stick, right? So Honda Motor Company is moving. Pretty sure I did Honda somewhere before. There he is. So he's a cheat sheet. OG one, real huge resolutions. But this recent surge in Japan, right, is being reflected in everything in Japan. So looking at him right now, I still think, for the macro of what this is Honda fucking in a bull flag since 2011's high. That kind of correlates to the same year as gold. You're in a 12-year fucking corrective structure for this guy. So in thinking about this as like rise of the east, you got to go out some resolutions to really make this make sense of what resolution this can really occur on. If this is the end of the west lead in the world, then it's a bull flag of this order. Pepe things, right? So there you go. That's Honda, bitches. What just happened here? Perfect. Everybody get that? What are we at? 1 hour and 17 minutes. A little longer than I planned to go for. I almost missed the end. Alright, we got that one. I had some screen on all that. Phil, if you can, just ask stuff in the very beginning, so I kind of don't really roam around catching at the end. That'll throw me off. So they put a list together. If you show up in the beginning of the show and ask your symbol and stuff, they'll put in that whole group, and then I can kind of head through in the end. What is SE? Somebody say, what is that? Yeah, I'm not gonna chase any other ones. We're at end of time. I'm gonna let you guys who need to get involved in the market right now. Nothing crazy's happened since we opened. Right, the market's correcting off yesterday's pump. So if you're patient, you shouldn't have had to rush in and cut your balls off in the NAS or anything else. No problem, Phil. Appreciate you coming to check out the show. If this is your first time, make sure you come back. I always try to squeeze in everything that I can. So but just keep a flow to it. So for everybody that came out to the concept call yesterday, good showing up. Hopefully it helps you guys recenter yourselves. For everybody who's kind of sitting in acolytes and not showing up anywhere, you're doing yourselves a disservice. The market's definitely tough right now, and the better your habits are, is the more likely you will make it through a really shitty period till there really is easy money, bull market things, if that's coming back in, whether it be stocks or crypto. So it's been a very hard trading market since the summer last year. That's what market bottoms look like. They're very liquid, very difficult to make money. And those time corrections, as you get out of those large cycle, bull flag bottoms, erase all the people for the next leg. Your goal is to out-survive all the people who are going to get burnt in the time correction. So supreme mechanics and, consistent, narrow emotional mindset will allow you to make mechanical plans and not get caught up in fucking runaway pumps, or get caught up in despair where you look away at the moment of opportunity. So the more you guys show up and the better your habits you keep, the more you do replays with each other, is the better you keep your mind in the right place to capitalize on the next mechanical opportunity that presents itself all the fucking time in various asset classes. You just have to have like, you know, your mindset in the right place to keep looking for the next opportunity. Don't worry about what's past. But yeah, for anybody that showed us brand new, hope you enjoyed the show. For the rest of you guys from you know, Discord click, appreciate y'all. Catch you guys on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome